God will not dwell in an angry mind. And given that, I like to ask people, um, what does your Creator, God, represent to you? And most people might say love, forgiveness, understanding, compassion, tolerance, patience, and so on. Um, Now, if you believe that we're created in the image of our Creator or God, um, then you know we also have a responsibility to see through the eyes of our Creator, see the world through the eyes of our Creator. Um, think about your past and think about life and think about the people whose toes we stepped on along the way. How many people that we've upset, or how many people we might have done wrong to. How many um, negative effects we've had on somebody else's life. You know, the things that we view as mistakes. My perception of mistakes, though, is that we don't have mistakes. We have experiences and lessons that we learn from these experiences, because everything happens in God's world for a reason. Nothing is by mistake. Um, Everything that you've experienced so far in your life is there and has happened for a reason. It is up to you to determine whether you have learned something from it or not. And if not, unfortunately, we usually have to go through that same experience again at a different time with somebody else or something else. Um, when you change the way you think and your perception of the world, your attitude changes. It can't be helped. Um, if I if I take a look at for an example, if I take a look at the people that I've done wrong to, or things that I've done wrong, having being a recovering alcoholic for over 15 years, um, there was a lot of wreckage I've left in my past, and a lot of amends I've had to make. I've had to humble myself before my Creator and ask for forgiveness, you know. So if I'm not willing to forgive other people, then what makes me so self-righteous that I can ask my Creator God to forgive me? I have that same responsibility to forgive those around me or that might have done me wrong. Uh, I also know what it's taken me through my experiences to bring me um, to a point where I've surrendered my life to my Creator. Um, I've had to go through some tremendous pain and hurt, a lot of sorrow. The thing is, today where I'm at, I don't look at these things and get caught up in self-pity and say, poor me, poor me. The thing that I do is, and that I've come to realize, is that, I'm responsible for the direction of my life and my own happiness. Um, I'm responsible for my journey. I'm not responsible for somebody else's. Um, so where somebody else is at in their life, I can't change that, and I'm not responsible for it. Um, who am I to say how God intends to bring them to Him? Um, People have to go through their own experiences. They might be miserable. It might be somebody you work with that you have a hard time tolerating. Um, it might be somebody that you struggle with or that you have resentment towards. Resentment is a lack of forgiveness, and we have that responsibility to forgive, not just for them, but for us and for our own well-being. Um, you know, if if I if I if I judge people for where they're at in their life, um, I'll be judged. You know, for the things that I've done in mine. The best thing to understand is that we can't control anyone or anything. All we can control is our own energy, what energy we put out there. And I always say, be careful of what comes out of here, what you put out in the universe, because once you put it out there, you can't take it back, and it's out there. What comes out of your mouth reflects who you are and what you believe. If you profess to be a spiritual man or a spiritual woman, and you walk a different talk, you know, you're going to be probably labeled as a hypocrite. It's very important that if you believe something, your actions should match your words. I didn't get that for the longest time. I could sit there and I could have all the solutions and all the, to all the problems in the world and sound real good. But the minute that I went out on my daily life and daily living and went to face life on life's terms, you know, I failed. You know, I could tell somebody that you have to have faith and you have to believe, and then turn around and be completely struggling with the same thing. You know, if you say it and believe it, then live it. You know, um, it will reflect on your character. It'll reflect on the person that you're becoming. And the Creator God doesn't expect you to get it perfect or get it right. You're still just a human being. Um, and it's natural and it's in our nature to err. You know, um, God didn't put challenges in our life, or not challenges. He didn't. We don't go through tests in our life because God wants to test us. These tests we draw to ourselves. I believe this. We draw these tests to ourselves, and these tests are to challenge us to um, gain knowledge and reach a higher understanding of our own being. There's a lot that you can learn from just paying attention. You know, um, stay out of anger, stay out of resentment. It will destroy your spirit. It will hinder it. It'll darken it. I shouldn't say destroy it. That's kind of harsh, but you know what I mean. If if you walk around angry, you're you're separating yourself um, from your spirituality, from your spiritual growth. Um, like I said, God will not dwell in an angry mind, and until you um, let that go, you're of very little use to Him. You're also throwing yourself out of balance when you're angry, and that can take you in a downward spiral. Um, it will make everything complicated, difficult, because you manifest the things that are coming in your life. And if your mind is in a dark place, you're going to manifest and draw dark things to you. Um, this is true, I assure you, through my own life and my own experiences. If you put out positive energy, it's going to radiate from you, and people are going to draw off that. People are going to um, depend on you and want to be by you, want to be around you. They're going to want to hear what you say because they're going to need that energy. They're going to need that positive um, message uh, to help them through whatever it is they're struggling to get their mind in the right place and get themselves back in balance. I have people in place in my life that do the same thing for me because I'm not perfect. I draw off of other people. I put a lot of energy out there and sometimes end up with low energy because of it. So I have to recharge my battery and plug into somebody else who is just as positive and at the same wavelength as I am so that I can draw off their energy. And that gets me ready, it gets me focused, and it keeps me in balance. Helping and working with other people keeps me balanced, you know. So these are things that I wanted to share with you about anger and resentment. Um, Let it go. It serves no purpose. Um, it will just stall and stunt your spiritual growth, and it also will have an effect on how you view yourself and how you feel about yourself. You can't be talking about being spiritual one minute and then driving down a road and hollering at somebody in front of you because they're not driving fast enough for you. You know, I say that because I've done that and had to catch myself and say, hey, where's this energy coming from? You know, this isn't who I am, and this isn't me. Cut this loose. Let it go. And you know, as long as it's in here, it's not coming out of here. It can be addressed before it gets to here. So think about those things, and good luck to you.